going to be talking about probably one of the coolest sets of misprints that have ever actually came out of the course of any TCG history, and it's the Pokemon Yu-Gi-Oh! Crossover. Make sure you guys smash the living crap out of that subscribe button so you guys don't miss out on more awesome content. So what you're going to be seeing here is going to be a preparation of rights. Now, you're probably going to notice something very interesting about this preparation of rights, other than, it is a collector's rare. But down at the bottom of the card, you're going to notice what looks like a weakness, a fighting resistance, and a retreat cost, along with some extra little things kind of printed on the card. I know it's a little bit hard to see on this, but the origin story for this was opened up out of a booster pack, and evidently a few people I've read from this have been like, well, this is very easy to fake. No, evidently the person that confirmed that this is actually theirs said that it is underneath the foil layer, which means that this was stamped off of the printer like this. Now, before you're like, wait a minute, Pokemon owns their own printing facility. Why are Yu-Gi-Oh cards anywhere near that printing facility? Like, what in the world is going on here? And then you're like, wait a minute. Yu-Gi-Oh uses, this is going to be mind-boggling here for a second, Yu-Gi-Oh currently uses the Millennium Group's printers. Now, to the best of my knowledge, those are the printers that are owned by Pokemon. Now, wait a minute. Why would the same printing company allow something like Yu-Gi-Oh to be using their printers? It's called, I want more money. If I own the printers and Pokemon is the one in charge of this, that would explain how an error like this is actually able to be born. And I've read plenty of comments from people going, Pokemon owns their printers. Like, Yu-Gi-Oh, it shouldn't be there. You need to realize, in the world of business, having I wouldn't even say Pokemon's worried about Yu-Gi-Oh being a competitor at this point. Pokemon's looking at this as, hey, they can use our printers. Technically, wouldn't that give Pokemon access to the knowledge of how Yu-Gi-Oh cards are made? And then wouldn't they know all the... that's too much deep diving into that. So, yes, it's Pokemon just recuperating money back from their purchase of the Millennium Group printers. So, if you're wondering about that, yeah. So basically, how I'm assuming that this misprint actually happened was either there was still ink from the change of templates. This has to be a template error, looking at it, because considering the cards would be coming down, or maybe somebody didn't clean ink off of something, that would be the only reason why something like this should be happening. Now, to my understanding, this is only just recently found, all right, coming out of, what was it? I've heard a report of a pack off of Amazon. I've heard a pack off of Target. I haven't heard any results from packs at Walmart yet. So it looks like these misprints for, the RAO2 for this have been fairly recently things. Now, is this going to be an expensive misprint? Cross-platform misprints. The only real record of this that I can think of would be going back to the Magic the Gathering Blastoise, which that card was like a test print for this. But you've got to remember, these typically don't exist, and it's already extremely rare enough that one of these got into the wild. Now, like I said, there's more than one here, which is crazy to think about. The second one actually came out on a Trishula collector's rare as well. It looks like all of these typically were dedicated to some collector's rare push-throughs for some reason, which, the collector's rares needed something to save the value from this set, right? Now, what you're going to notice down here is this one's a little bit harder to notice, but it's going to be in the text box between the first edition and the chosen at random. And it's going to say dual blade. Now, for those of you that also will notice, there's an HP 90 also stamped above the Defense 2000, which is a little bit harder to see as well. So you have the name and you have the stamp indent as well. Once again, are these just bearer prints, going through these, or, are we lacking the ink? What caused this to actually happen, I think is the coolest thing about this. I would love to just own one of these, because once again, cross card game misprints do not exist. They're so rare. And I mean, you could make the argument, I guess these could be faked. Our third version over here is actually going to be from a Ultimate Slayer. You're going to notice that it says Nazzle Stack on it. And then you're going to see that HP 100 print over there on the side as well. So, it looks like the other versions of these are just going to be name imprints with the HP on the side, which, I mean, okay, that's a fairly easy thing to kind of look at and to consider. But you have to be looking at these cards, in my opinion, relatively close up to be seeing, the differences of these. And the way that I'm assuming that these all was these all came out of the same sheet. Nobody caught it from quality control, which I don't really blame them for not catching this, because, whatever, a cool dry off or a change of the sheet for ink in the template, sure. Now, expected value on these. The problem with assigning a value to something like this is the misprint market is a creature. The reason why I say that is, one, it depends how crazy the misprint actually is. Two, this being, I'm not going to necessarily say the first of its kind, but the fact that we have 3 of these as of filming this in circulation, there's not to say that, you might not see more of these show up. The fact that we do have 3 confirmed sightings of this, though, does kind of make me wonder, what more exists out there for these. So, I guess to put a number on this, I would personally pay $100 to $200 to own one of these, just to have that cross-platform number. But when you're looking at like the prep, for example, that is, way more misprinted than the other 2 with the name indents versus, having the weakness and all of that presented on the card, I feel like that one is more valuable on that side of, things. But I'm very curious. I'll try to keep everybody updated on the situation for how these cards, if they are going to rotate onto the secondary market, what people are going to expect. Disclaimer, though, I do feel like there could be people that could try to manipulate the system and try to, do like little stamp indents on their own for these and try to copy them. I don't think that that's going to be very easy to do, but I would be a little bit skeptical when, if one of these does pop up in your area. Be like, where'd you get it from? Just ask some questions. Could be somebody trying to fake something for a quick dollar bill, but if it's like the prep where it's underneath the foil, that's good. Same thing with the other 2, but if, it's an ink indent on the top of the foil, that's not how that works around here. So, one of the coolest misprints that I have had the chance to see. The only reason why I made a video on this is, one, cross-game misprints don't exist anymore because everybody's just kind of doing their own thing. And number 2, it's Pokemon. All right, it's already extremely cool just to kind of see the little collab that's kind of unfolding in the shadows for this. So is this something that you would love to collect? Please leave a comment down below. Tell me what you guys think. I'd love to add one of these to my own collection, but you know, we can dream, right? You guys have a good rest of your day, all right? Patrons, thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.